Hey there, so a bit of a later one today. Earlier on today I uploaded videos that I did last week and completely forgot about and didn't upload. And there's actually a few of them, so that was just the first. So anything you see with a black shirt, you know, was last week. That was last week's shirt. That's what I'm reduced to. Yeah, so the sounds in my head. You know, really for me with the guitar, there's like two, you know, main like important things. You know, if I only had one guitar, well, like when I play gigs, you know, I don't want to be taking 20 fucking guitars to a gig. And anyone that's gigged with me, Keith, I'm so fucking glad. Like, there's a channel called Drone in the Woods. Please go and check it out and subscribe. A very, very dear friend of mine. We've done many gigs together. I actually found some wicked pictures. I'll show you another time. And I always used a pair of guitars with, you know, those projects. You know, anyone that's done like, you know, Warm Dirt as well, any gigs that I've done, you know, I try and look professional at least. And I like to have two, like, identical or near as knock-it guitars. So if I snap a string, you know, I just, you know, swap guitars, and then the roadie, stage tech / usually a girlfriend repairs the string on the one I just snapped, so then that's waiting for a spare. And, you know, you can go through, like, you know, I think 4 or 5 has been the most I've done on a gig. But, you know, it just looks professional when you can just, your guitar's down, so you just pick up another one. Cheers. Cheers, Malk. Love the Golden Goose. So, yeah, for me, you know, I like a... You know, for all the rhythm stuff, for all the, you know, I like that bridge humbucker. You know, it's just got that, you know, all of those sounds are there for any of the rhythms and riffs. And then for like doing solos and accompaniments, I like the neck pickup, the single coil. So, you know, when it came to like selecting a guitar that was gonna, you know, be the thing I'm out with, if I did a photo shoot or whatever, you know, I'd be holding it, and I picked the F-types, you know, and they have the humbucker. Actually, you can see better on the other one. You know, they have the humbucker at the bridge and the single coil at the neck, and you know, and I'm very much a fan of a volume disparity. Now, when I got these custom pickups made, you know, the first conversation was like what he was going to have to do to fix the volume disparity. I was like, please don't fix the volume disparity. The whole point of the setup for me is that, like, okay, I'm in like, and then flick the switch into the single coil. Okay, like it really works well on like the original backline. You know, was like a Marshall 50-watt master volume, and like, yeah, when you just click from the humbucker to the thing before you do anything else, it just cleans up lovely. You know, having that much lower signal on the neck pickup, it really helps. And but then, you know, it's like if you've got full distortion on and you're playing a solo, it's not like actual apparent volume doesn't disappear. It's more about what it does to the tone and the volume. It doesn't do fuck all to the volume, really. A little bit of pickup disparity really doesn't do much to the volume. You know, it's much more about the tone. But yeah, the inherent strengths of the single coil neck. I mean, like, all the great legendary sort of guitar sounds, you know, the Clapton sounds and stuff. I mean, it's warm, and yet bright, you know. It's percussive, and yet it's sort of very like mumbly if you want it to be soft, you know. The amount of like dynamic, it's just huge. Like it's very expressive, and it's not just the fact, you know, it's the fact it's a single coil, the position that it's in, you know, sort of like close to the 12th fret, you know, sort of like it's much, you know, sort of halfway up the string. You know, there's a lot of things that go into that working. And on every guitar I've ever tried it in, it's different. Like it's a lot different on these F types than on a Strat, say, you know. Quick shootout between the two Triple S Strats. Yeah, I like them both for different reasons, and I'm thinking very much that I might keep this as a 3 single coil. Anyway, then you got the Tele neck, which is again, it's something a bit different. To me it has like a sort of trashier, but generally speaking, has like a thinner sort of trashier sound, and that's not a bad thing. But that's a very generalistic comment. You know, I think altogether, generally, it just has a more primitive sound, if that makes sense. Iron Maiden, like something off of Seventh Son, I think. Yeah, this is I love this guitar. This is a guitar I use for soloing a lot. Something else I really love about it is the sound of the 2 single coils. Clean. I love that sound. I mean, I love. That's the sound I love on a Telecaster. Is both pickups being used clean for, like, you know, for this sort of thing. And so yeah, having a guitar with it all sort of set up on you know, on the one platform, very kind of useful. Anyway, so right, and lastly, the mod that I did on the F-Type is really important because, like, not only did I want it, I was gonna put a single coil in it. Check out how fucking cool this thing looks. I mean, how fucking cool does this thing look? I mean, come on, don't lie to me now. Don't lie to me now. I know I fucked it, but the fact is, this is my heavy metal guitar, and I know it's a bit gay, but so fucking what? Right, so why it's important? Well, one, because I was going to put a single coil in there, and I saw the 4 wires on this, Hot Rails copy, and so that basically means, okay, it's a humbucker. Now, what I found is, like, by raising and lowering the hot rail, that, like, if it was up high, it would sound more like a humbucker, and if it was down low, it would sound more like a single coil. That was interesting. Anyway, so I added the split, so it's like both blades are running when the switch is up, right, and when I switch it down, like, just the blade nearest the 24th fret there is working. And now the reason that's so fucking cool is that it gives me yet another sound in this whole conglomerate of guitars here. It gives me yet another unique sound, because nowhere else do I have, like, the half Hot Rails single coil sound, which is actually a thing of its own, and like my prediction, it was kind of telly-like. So as a humbucker, it sounds like this, like a kind of tight, you know, humbucker. Dare I say, like, quite a good modern sounding humbucker, not a terrible one at all. The guy who did the pickups on the other guitar was like, there's nothing wrong with these are quite good pickups, when he was taking, these out of the black one. Anyway, and this is what it sounds like single coil. Definitely a single coil, but it's something off. Like, you think, what's that? Is that a telly? What's that? Right? Is that like an active Telecaster pickup or something? So a hell of a lot of difference for a tiny little mod, and there's crackers. I love it. I'm so proud of my first mod where I've adjusted a circuit. Now I've done like repairs, and I've replaced things before, like for like, but I've never altered a circuit, an actual like wiring harness. Does that make sense? So that's my first mod. It's not like putting another pickup in, which I've done a couple of weeks ago again on the Golden Goose, and which now has DiMarzio's, which came free. Thank you very much, Graham. And if you're watching, buddy, anything I can do in return, don't fucking hesitate. Graham had bought a BC Rich, and it had a pair of like Dimarzio super distortions, or at least pretty much that's what we think. And he didn't want them. Asked me if I wanted them. I was like, yeah. What do you want for them? And he didn't want nothing. Sent them up. I put them in the Golden Goose. So that's another episode. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, so like on a closing note, let's go back to the Peavey Strat. You know, my latest guitar. I'm really pleased with it. It's definitely staying. It's proof that even as poor as I am, you can still go out and buy vintage guitars. I mean, it's an early '90s Korean. You know, that means something to some people. It doesn't mean a lot to me, but at the same time, I very much like it. And I defended those guitars back then, and I was proved right. I say the fucking Chinese ones now are much better, and I'll be proved right on that in the end. So, rig today. Hang on, just before that, let's just have one fucking... Sorry. Yeah, so we're on the Vox set 2 Vox AC15 with all it is a tube screamer going into delay, and that's it, which is obviously on the foot expression, and that's it. That's all we've been doing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not focused, of course. I'm in a bit of a mess, but I'm trying to push forward, and your comments are hugely helpful right now. Like, you know, I've gone through the story, but I moved away from my home city to like move up here, you know, and like, where, you know, and I've sort of split up with my partner, and it's kind of left me feeling very fucking alone and isolated. Whereas, you know, I had all my friends back in Chai, and I have no one here apart from my mate Chris. So, you know, I'm kind of leaning on you guys online a little bit more. I hope you fucking don't mind, but I'm kind of leaning on you a bit more, because otherwise I'd feel really lonely. And I don't. I'm okay, because, you know, I'm under my own steam. But what a lot of people don't realise is, like, to write music, to be in a creative mood, you need to have all your ducks in a row. You need to mentally feel very at ease. You know, any stresses are hugely distracting, and you just can't settle. And so, like, relationship bullshit, it's like absolute anathema to making music. And I'm really disappointed that, like, that this is kind of happening. You know. So anyway, I don't need the distractions. I do nothing but love. And you know, any thoughts that come to mind just that are unhealthy, I have to brush them out. You know, you have to just hold on to yourself, like, you know, don't lose yourself, and try and look at the big picture, you know. Anyway, like, feel fucking more welcome than usual to comment below and ask me any kind of question. I mean, any like specific question that would merit some kind of response would be great. And yeah, find me on Facebook and all that. And on Twitter, I'm Black2Fox on Twitter. Do find me on there. That's a good place to find me. But I should put the links really in the description. Anyway, look after yourselves and each other.